welcome to the Miss Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. This is my partner and co-host James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. Link is in description of the video. Welcome in.
Thank you for having me. Hey, y'all, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.
Yes, yes, yes. We do hope that you do that. Oh, Lord, not yes, yes, yes. Sounded like that Help a Pinky doll. But we are... we are here to go over Bravo TV's The Valley. This is a spinoff of Vanderpump Rules. Vanderpump Rules did okay. It was almost canceled, and then Scandal happened. James is here to support me. We do our recaps together, so he's here to support me. We're going to trial this for a couple episodes. It's a good show. It has good bones, but I will be explaining like who people are and drama, previous drama that's necessary as we go, so that James and others who may not have watched season 1 can understand what the hell is going on and all of those good things. Welcome in, Shani. Glad to see you. I'm also recapping this show because this is one of the shows that has more clearer representation, if y'all catch my drift. But African Americans, Black community, we watch this show too, so therefore we should have Black recappers covering it. So here I am. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. So we start with the melodramatic bullshit from Jax. I don't think anybody needs a backstory on Jax. Let me know if you do, James.
No,
Jax,
I know exactly who this is.
Hot Mess Express. He was fired from Vanderpump Rules before there was ever any scandal because of racial slurs and comments that he made against Faith Stowers, who was African American. He puts his tillywhacker in any woman who will accept it. He has never been faithful to any girlfriend. We watched him play with Stassi. Then he played with Brittany. We know that Jax also slept with Kristen while she was with Sandoval. So he is an OG, and he's melodramatic. He's always making bad decisions. He was on House of Villains. I think I about covered it. I'm not going to get into it. We know that Jax and Brittany are actively divorcing. Jax is like the white Ray J. He's constantly crashing out over a woman over some shit that he caused. That's just what Jax does. Now, yes, tillywhacker, penis, however you want to call it. I think it sounds better than penis, I think. But Jesse and Michelle, they are a couple that was together last season. Whole lot of drama with Kristen and them. Kristen pointed out that Michelle has a whole boyfriend and Jesse didn't know about it. Their marriage is a whack. It's just a mess. Jesse is more like a more professional version of Jax. He gives like PK energy, just a little younger. Jesse and Michelle are now finally living separately. They're almost divorced. They're just waiting on the divorce to be final. The next check-in we get is Janet and Jason. We met Janet last season. She was very pregnant and starting a bunch of shit. And then she would go and cry and say, "You're interrupting my pregnancy," or "You're hoping my baby doesn't come to full term." Janet is messy. Janet is the mess of the group, and she's known the Vanderpump Rules crew for years and years, but it's just never been on TV. Side note, I think her man, Jason, I think he like boys a little more than her, but that's just my opinion, and I'm going to leave it there. Kristen and Luke, they're still together. We know in real time Kristen is 7 months pregnant right now, so congratulations to her and Luke. Jasmine, our token Black person on the cast, she's finally showing her girlfriend Melissa. Jasmine's kind of boring to me. I don't really care for her on this show, so we'll see where that goes. And Danny and Nia, former Miss USA or whatever the hell you call it, they're still together in that condo with all them kids under the age of 3. So that's pretty much where everyone is. The first scene we see is Jesse going to Jax's house. And we learn that Jax and Brittany have been separated for 9 months. Jax is complaining because they have their baby Cruz. And I guess Brittany lets Cruz use her iPad. And Jax saw messages on the iPad between Brittany and a guy named Julian, who was also a friend of Jax's. He says that he was hurt by that, flipped out when he saw it. He flipped the coffee table over. The coffee table hit her in the knee and hurt her. She says her knee instantly turned black. And he says he was caught off guard, basically, by her moving on. And it turns out that he's really not caught off guard. He feels betrayed because his friend, his very good friend, starts talking to his wife. I did not feel bad for Jax, just personally, because Jax, you're mad that your wife, who you're separated from, who you agreed to talk to other people, you're mad that the other person she decided to talk to was a friend of yours. But on Vanderpump Rules, somewhere around season 2 and 3, it was revealed that you, who was best friends with Tom Sandoval, were sleeping with Kristen. Wow. They were still together. And it made it even worse because Kristen was best friends with Jax's girlfriend at the time, Stassi. So it just looks like karma done come right around to come back at him. I don't feel sorry for this white man. I don't. How you feel? Oh, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I was about to say now the camera didn't want to work. Okay, so I don't feel sorry for him either. And to me, I kind of feel like, okay, so you expected her not to date when you said we're allowed to see other people? Make it make sense. Because ain't that the point?
You can't get mad at Brittany for talking to your friend either.
No, what it is
that's what they do in this group.
Yeah, that was ain't that what y'all known for anyway? Y'all pass around and toss around. Y'all share other people. Y'all might be awesome swingers. They should call us the swingers.
The only one who was smart was Kristen to go and get a man that don't know nobody and was from a whole different state.
Exactly. But my whole thing is this: when you gonna reveal who you dating? Because it sounds like to me you're okay with dating, but you don't want her to date.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably right too, Shani.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't bit more believe that man up in that house all day and all night than anybody else in this cast. So come on. Like, let's not do this. Like,
Jax is the cheater who gonna come home when he done. He not gonna spend the night out. He gonna make it home. But he still gonna do his dirt. Like, Jax, stop. Stop. Now, Brittany says that Jax's anger is too much. She says he parties too much and she cannot trust him alone with their son. I say, ain't that some shit? Because last season, Jax was trying to make it seem, for those who don't have the context, last season, Jax was complaining, saying that he feels like Brittany could be a better mom and he doesn't like how she's hungover instead of taking care of their child. And their child, I believe they said their child is on the spectrum of some sort. So their child requires a lot more care than that. I'm looking at Brittany and Jax like they ain't shit. I know people don't like this. They like to love on Brittany, but Brittany got with this man. I remember when he bought her the boobs that she has now, paying for plastic surgery because he didn't like how she looked and wanted to enhance it. Threw it in her face. Like, Jax has shown her from the beginning what she's going to get, and she had warning from everyone else in the group. And it looks like she settled and dealt with it because of the fame and the money. But then that went away. They struggling. Now she suddenly want to leave. So a piece of me doesn't feel sorry for Brittany, but I don't like what she's having to deal with, because to deal with an aggressive man like that is triggering. So we'll see. We will see. But Jesse makes it about him and mentions that he has a new relationship and says that the woman he's with is super strong. He says, unlike Michelle, she doesn't wait for him to do something that annoys her and then say something. She corrects him in motion. I said, oh, so you want a woman to do the work for you. You don't want to do the work on yourself, Jesse. Is that what it is? I wasn't feeling Jesse this season, but Michelle was also in a new relationship. You said what, James?
I'm not feeling him either, because to me, that's a problematic trait. Because why you need to wait for somebody to correct you on some behavior you need to be correcting your damn self?
Right.
Like, what the hell is you even talking about? Because what does that context really mean? Like, I needed him to make sense of that, because that didn't make any sense to me. So you want somebody to correct you. You want somebody to tell you when you're wrong. So therefore, you're implying that you do wrong in relationships, which is why the other lady went the fuck away from you, because I would have too.
Yeah, you could tell he was difficult for her to deal with. And he's also the kind of dude where, I know you're going to comment, James, watching this, toxic masculinity, him and Jax, them two. Toxic.
Oh, yeah. I didn't like what he said at the end of this episode, which we'll get to, because that shit pissed me off. Because it was like, oh no.
And Jesse, because James didn't watch VPR like that, and I don't believe he watched season 1, but Jesse is a newbie. He wasn't really like someone we knew or saw previously. So any assessment you have of him is probably spot on, because we know just as much as you. He's can't stand him. Now, Brittany and Janet, they go look at plants. I actually like that activity. I like activities like that, making a little plant house.
We sure need to do that one of these days.
Because, then you get a decoration for your house. It's just a good thing to do.
Something earthy. Yeah, I loved it.
I love activities like that. And that's why I still have a thing and want to live in LA, but can't seem to leave the Bay Area. But I would love to live in LA because they have so much more to do. It's just not enough space and too many people. Right. Shani said, you a grown man. How you don't know what you're doing wrong? Because I think Jesse's success in real estate, his company, I think that has gotten to his head to a certain extent, if that makes sense. You could tell everything's gone to his head.
Yep.
But
this definitely like new money, new business venture, and it worked. So
Yep. I agree with that. Now, while doing the plant things, Brittany exposes that Jack is spiraling because she's having a white party, a summer party. This is what they do on Vanderpump Rules. They just seem to throw pointless parties. He gets upset about that, so he's throwing a rival party. But we know that ain't gonna go well because everybody likes Brittany and has really just kept putting up with Jax for her. Half of these people wanted to be done with Jax and Vanderpump Rules before the Valley even existed, but we gonna see. Now, Danny and Nia go out to eat. Or not Danny, I'm so sorry. Zach's messy self. He's the gay guy that's on the cast. He's cool with everybody, but he mad messy. Zach is always in everybody's business. He's spreading rumors. Season 1, most of the drama that happened with Kristen was stuff that Zach was telling her that she went and reacted to. Zach and Janet to me are the messiest people on this cast. That's just my opinion. Zach, Janet, Jax doesn't count because I think he's got mental health issues, but they are messy as hell. Now, they discussed Janet and Kristen's issues, and Kristen is mad at Janet because Janet said publicly on the podcast that Kristen tried to stop her pregnancy from going to full term, which we know is some bullshit. And I know that Kristen was fired for making some comments, racial slurs, things of that nature. I'm never going to let that go. However, to say that this woman did not want you to bring your pregnancy to full term is crazy, especially while she herself has been on a paternity journey of having babies with this guy, Luke. So I do understand Kristen's anger there because that's a very charged statement. Zach then says that Janet made Brittany feel bad about defending and hanging out with him, and he thinks that Brittany is scared of Janet. I do too. Janet seems like she acts like everyone's friend, and she's kind of indoctrinated in the friend group because she's known everyone just as long. However, when Janet gets upset, or if you go against her, or if you hold her accountable, she will happily throw in your face what she's done for you, or she will happily bring up your personal business to other people for play. Like, Janet don't fight fair. So I do agree with Zach, but let it go. Zach, where is your partner? Who are you dating? Because all we saw season 1 was this single gay man crying and being in everybody else's business. But we ain't got to see you date nobody. Who are you dating, Zach? What are you doing? Because I just don't like Zach. He's just too messy. But James, did you have anything to add with their meetup discussing what Janet did? Do you feel like that was messed up to say on a podcast?
Absolutely, that was messed up to say because I know a girl like this in Phoenix. I do.
Oh, no.
Her name is Sarah. Shout out to Sarah. We're not shouting her out, but we gonna shout her out. She was one of my very first friends here in Phoenix, and she would do shit like that. I remember she unfortunately had a baby who passed away due to surgery complications, and she has an STD. And I remember another one of our mutual friends had, said that, the baby did contract the STD. So Sarah in turn says, so you're saying I'm responsible for killing my daughter? And it was like, no, that's not what she said. She said that you had an STD and unfortunately it transferred to your baby. Didn't no one say anything about you killing your child? Didn't nobody say, but that's what she said. And it hurt the mutual friend like crazy because that's not what she said. That's not what she meant. It was just an unfortunate circumstance. So it was like, so when I watched this, that reminded me of that situation, because I remember I had to talk her off the edge a few times because she felt really bad that like that was her mindset. And I was like, she was gonna think that regardless. And I'm just like, people's mindsets are just crazy.
That's the
Just
truth.
crazy.
That's the truth. People can twist your words into something so much more than it really is,
Mhm.
just based on their own, sensitivity. That's unfortunate. Now, y'all, we gonna move it along. Jesse, who I view as a Jax 1.0, because he's like similar but less lethal. He has Kristen over, and I'm giving context for those who may not watch this show or know any of that. Last season, in season 1, Jesse was hollering at Kristen, calling her all types of bitches for putting out there that his wife, who he's no longer married to, had a boyfriend that she's keeping secret for a year. All this crazy stuff. And that was foul of Kristen to like air her friend out. But Jesse is smart because he wants to meet with Kristen. I said there has to be an ulterior motive. And he says to the confessional, he remembers Kristen mentioning last year that Michelle had the boyfriend. And he says he needs to hear her out about that. Because now, in today's time, at the time of when they filmed this, he said Michelle has had a boyfriend now that she's been with for some time. And he's aligning those timelines with what Kristen said and thinks that this may have been the man that she was talking to while still married to Jesse. And Jesse feels like this is a big deal now, even though the divorce is damn near final, because he invited this boyfriend that Michelle has to his home because their daughter had a birthday party. And so it makes sense to invite the boyfriend. So he wants to know what's what. And I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter if you're divorced anymore. It doesn't matter. He's thinking, it seems like Jesse thinks if this is the man that his wife cheated on him with, that he can keep that man from his daughter. You can't. If the man is not a danger to your daughter and a judge has not said you cannot do this, then it's just a personal problem that you have to get over. And he ends up apologizing to Kristen because he says that all of the things that Kristen said was the truth. But honestly, y'all, Kristen ain't known to lie. Kristen will do stupid shit and she'll do too much, but she ain't never got caught in no lie and usually came with receipts from BPR to now. So he apologizes, says all the stuff she said was true. And in my opinion, Kristen is too forgiving sometimes. And I think because she knows she did so much shit when she was younger, I think she gets too forgiving. But like, I wouldn't have forgave him. The way he was hollering and reaching across the table at me, calling me out my name, all because your bitch was cheating. And now you want to say sorry only because you see that I was telling the truth, but not because you feel bad for your behavior. I wouldn't trust that apology worth a damn. But James, how did you feel about that?
I felt the same way. I don't know these people, so I only can go based on the feeling. Um, to me, if you don't have no evidence and proof, then your assumptions don't mean anything. That's your personal problem. So get them off my screen. Because I can already tell I'm not going to like neither one of them.
Shandy said I need to go out and get something to eat. I'll see you guys on the next live Saturday, Sunday, one of those days. Go get some food.
Go get some food, my love. Enjoy.
Quarter food say,
give me a bite.
Food. Welcome in, because that's what I'm going to do as soon as this is over. I'm a husband, please drive me here. I'm lazy. I'm going to go find some food. I'm hungry. Now, my favorite couple on the show, Danny and Nia, they're a couple right in the center of everything. They go out, and they pretty much have the same story. Like, Danny and Nia aren't too much drama. I'm interested to see if they'll give more this season. Now, she had twins that are under the age of 1. She's got a kid that's 3. They got 3 kids under 3, which is crazy. The last time we left off with them, it was a big thing. She was really upset because he wanted to live in Santa Clarita, Valencia. For those who are not from California, Santa Clarita and Valencia are about, I would say, 45 minutes outside of Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no traffic, maybe
and
30.
If you stay between 5 and then you transfer to the 405, you'll make it to Beverly Hills in 35 minutes.
Yeah, so everyone's thinking that everything's near each other. California is the biggest state. It's huge. Her argument with living in Santa Clarita and Valencia is basically she wants to be near LA. That is a huge commute hub. A lot of people move there to save. It's kind of like the other side of the valley.
Hmm. A nicer part, but yeah, it is very true. A lot of
It's
people live. It's very inexpensive to live there. It's one of the most inexpensive cities in LA, and it's
yeah,
very nice because it's new and it's up and coming.
it's where
So
Magic Mountain is for those who are not sure, but it seems like everybody knows where Six Flags is. It makes sense for him to want to live there. Nia doesn't want to be far away from all of her friends. Everyone she knows lives in the valley or lives in Los Angeles. These people last season spoke about how they don't have the budget for that. It's very expensive to live in LA. I'm sure that the condo they have, they're probably paying thousands for to live in. And in addition to that, they have 3 small kids. Kids are expensive. You got to buy everything they need.
mhm.
She's still against living in Santa Clarita, but she wants another baby because she says she wants to just get it out of the way. She says having a baby ruins your body. I think that's such a negative mindset to have. And I say this all the time. I think Nia needs a lot of therapy. I think that she dealt with some trauma and stress from her pregnancies and having kids. And that's okay because it changes you. But girl, not you want to have another baby just so you could get it out the way when you don't got the space to put that child in the apartment that you're in now. So compromise and go somewhere affordable and commute. Half of Californians commute. Half of people in LA commute. You only film a couple times a year. Just commute. I don't understand it.
I don't
But
understand it either because he is right. Like what you can get in Santa Clarita versus LA, you can get a whole bunch of space. Y'all are cramped up in that little ass apartment, and the kids is driving y'all crazy. Y'all can get y'all a house, build y'all a little nursery, build you a little playroom for them kids, and have space where it actually would be fitting for y'all. So I think she's tripping. I really do. I think she's tripping. Santa Clarita is not that far, and like you said, they only film a few times out of the year, and I'm sure y'all got some hybrids or some electric cars. Y'all ain't wasting no gas.
right. I
So
believe
it's
we
like,
saw him driving a Prius last season.
come on,
Stop
like y'all
playing.
are being you being silly. I'm
She's
actually
being
on his
to
side.
Diddy. She wants to keep up with her friends, but she doesn't see, like my opinion of Mia, she doesn't see that she has what all of her friends want. She has the husband that actually cares. She has the babies. Just do what works for your family.
I just don't think what he's asking her is not that big of a compromise. I just don't. I could see if he was saying let's move to like 1,000 Oaks or let's
That's what
move
she
to,
wants to do.
but that's further out.
She just wants to be near the friends is the thing.
Yeah, that's further out, and 1,000 Oaks is expensive. What's the other one that
Exactly.
there was another one I was trying to think of, or like moving out to like Rancho Cucamonga or Apple Valley. I could see if he was asking you to do that. That's far, but Santa Clarita is right there. Like she tripping.
Has great schools. I'm just saying.
It really
But
does. Well, yeah, it's a really beautiful place. It really is.
Nia's doing too much, and he's willing to compromise. He's like, I'll give you all the babies you want if we got a place to put them. Shit. I don't blame him. That's realistic. It's not fair to the kids either. They all cooped up. Court of public opinion said with 3 infants and toddlers, I don't know how she does it. Yep. 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 Momhood is lonely. It's lonely, but I mean, everyone's had to go through it. Everyone's had to go through it. So I hope they figure it out. I like them. They're likable. They're relatable. Well, they're somewhat relatable. Most people in California go where we can afford, okay? It's people in the Bay Area commuting every day to Stockton and Sacramento, and that's 2 hours away. So
Yeah.
it's California. It's expensive here. Go where your dollar will stretch. And she is kind of a princess, though. She was a beauty queen. You could tell he's like, his love language is to spoil her. But he's holding his foot down with this move. He is not giving in to the move. Now, moving it along, Jax is having a get together. This is his rival party. Brittany made it seem like Jax was having a whole event. This ain't no event. Jax went to his bar, Jax's bar, and he had Tom Schwartz, Schwartz's brother Bert, one of the triplets, as well as I believe somebody who works with Jax to be there. He had about 4 guy friends that got together at the bar. everybody else was at Britney's party. It should show Jax that like people have never really sided with him. He always does too much. But he cried when being pulled to the side with Tom Schwartz. And I was cracking up because Tom Schwartz is awkward in general, but you could tell he didn't really know what to do. Like he's trying to support him, but he's also like, Schwartz knows how Jax is. We know that Schwartz knows how Jax is from Vanderpump Rules and all of that craziness. And Jax had his hand in his face. Tom didn't know whether to pat him on the shoulder or
He didn't know how to comfort. That shit was funny as hell.
Tom Schwartz is hilarious to me. He's hilarious to me. He's just funny, but nobody showed up for Jax. I think it's very telling. Now, right. We all know how Jax is. He never changes. And then he expects for us to like treat him as if he's changed, like as if he has been reborn like Christ was. Like, no, Jax. No. Just trash. And it's kind of sad. It seems like when the cameras went away, Jax and Britney were okay when the chips were down. When they were able to get back on television and start getting deals again, you could tell that like access to the fame and money in some ways like negatively just impacts Jax because it's ridiculous. He needs to grow the hell up. I'm so sick of him. And if what he's alleging to have done, throwing stuff at her, getting violent, why is he even still allowed to film this show? He's already been fired once for racist comments. He was arrested for stealing sunglasses in Hawaii. Now look at this shit. I'm tired of Jax. He's too old. He's 45. 45 with a shady mustache, still acting this way. I can't. Now, at Britney's party, Jesse and Michelle are talking, and Michelle brings up that Jesse buys their daughter, Isabella, I believe her name is. He buys her too much stuff. She feels like he spoils her and doesn't teach her enough lessons. And Michelle's new boyfriend commented as well. I was like, no, you just buy her anything. I'm like, shut the fuck up, sir. You are not even a step parent. You're not anything except the guy who's dating a woman who's not fully divorced. Why does she make her new dude think that he should be comfortable enough to comment on the father's parenting? Now, I don't like Jesse, but I didn't feel like it was appropriate for Michelle's dude to comment. I also didn't feel like it was appropriate for her to bring up custodial issues that relate to your child at a party. Why are you bringing that shit up now? James, how'd you feel about that little scene?
I hate that she brought it up too. I didn't like the boyfriend's comment either. I felt like mind your business because you're a father, you're not her husband, yet you don't matter. Your opinion do not matter. I don't care if she's living at your house, you living at her house. I don't care what it is. That ain't your place to comment. Until you become her husband, that's when you comment. But until then, right, that does not matter. So leave it alone, sir. But
I don't like that at all. It's irritating.
Yeah, but then also I don't like his attitude either. Because to me it kind of feels like you're doing things to punish her.
He is. He's being more difficult than he has to be.
Yeah, I feel like that's not right. I feel like that's not right for you to try to punish her because she didn't conform to you or your very excessive needs. And for you to sit up there and try to punish her talking about, well, I'm going to do this and you just got to deal with it. I'm going to get full. It was like, oh, see, yeah, you one of them. You, girl, he's never going to change.
He's not.
He's never going to change. So you need to get your ducks in order, get you a lawyer, and be ready to fight because he's going to give it to you.
Yeah, and I think a piece of her knows that, but it's like if you know that girl, then stop trying to entertain and talk to him about stuff. And then you're going to do it in a way that will irritate.
Trying to reason with him. And it's not working. That's the problem. She keeps trying to reason with him. It's like, man, you can't reason with people like him.
Listen. Court of public opinion said Jackson's corruptible, steroids, deep inside he's an angry guy. Yeah. And the topic with the custody thing, it is a really sensitive subject, but I think it's a subject that also needs to be talked about a lot more. The kids shouldn't suffer based on what's going on with the adults, but I know that's unrealistic. It's definitely too much. But in this situation at the party, for what we just spoke about, I definitely feel like, Michelle, don't bring it up. If you notice someone is difficult, then don't bring up a difficult thing unless you have like a mediator. And they both did well with their real estate and off of the show. So I'm like, why can't y'all pay a quarter point a mediator or use that app where you don't even got to deal with each other? But the judge probably won't grant that because y'all filming the show together. So I'm curious to see what happens with them. But, you know, it's too much. It's too much. Now, Janet comes into the party and Janet pulls Kristen aside and she tells Kristen that she wants to find a way for them to get back to a good place. And I'm looking at Janet like, here go this bitch. You may have all the friendships, Janet, but I see your ass from a mile away. In the words of Mimi Leaks, I see you. We see each other because your ass is messy. You come into this party, you want to make a way to be good with someone after you say that they wanted your child to not make it and didn't want your pregnancy to succeed. Kristen mentions the comments that Janet made on the podcast to Janet, and Janet apologized, but then she mentions Zach saying things that upset her because Zach was also, he said last season after Janet started some shit and then tried to cry tears while pregnant, and everyone's like, oh, Janet's pregnant, and Zach goes, well, I don't care. She's not going to disrespect me. And I'm like, you know, that wasn't a good look. But just because you're pregnant doesn't give you a pass to be acting a fool either. But as a man, he probably just should have sat that one out. Janet says that she made that comment about Kristen because of what Zach said. So I'm like, so you're saying sorry, and then you add the but. That's not a genuine apology. And then you're blaming what you said about me based on something that someone else did. And Kristen is like, just because he's my best friend, you're going to put that on me? And then Janet goes, I'm sorry, and I'm blaming everything on Zach's demonic behavior. I would have never responded that way. Why are you sorry if you're not taking accountability, though, Janet, for what you said? No one can make you say anything. I think it's more demonic to use your pregnancy as a way to act a fool, personally. But you are responsible for you. So please stop blaming this man for that. Now, Janet then asked asked Kristen what she needs to apologize for. She's like, well, do you feel you have anything to apologize for? And Kristen, I was happy when Kristen reminded her I did it all last year because she did apologize last year publicly. She did it a few times and it kept being a problem. And the thing is, Kristen was only repeating some shit that she was told that everybody was talking about, but it was blamed on her. So they end up going their separate ways because Janet basically gets mad that her apology was not accepted and storms off from Kristen, which she always does. But I agree with Kristen. Janet tried to gaslight her into accepting an apology and then tried to flip and manipulate it as if she's owed one too when she's already gotten one. This is why I don't like Janet, pregnant or not pregnant. I don't like her. And I don't trust her man. Something about him seemed off. But James, how do you feel about that little scene with Janet and Kristen?
I thought it was crazy. I thought it was insane. And like, that's a dangerous woman, y'all. Very dangerous. Like I worry for her. I do. Like I almost want her to be a case study just because she is fascinating to me.
Janet's a mess.
Like she's fascinating to me because it's like, where in the hell is your logic?
But you know, I feel like Janet and Kristen, because Janet has known the Vanderpump Rules crew the longest of anyone else on the Valley.
Well, she's the hanger-oner.
I think, and she made that comment about how her and Kristen used to have fun together, especially when going against other people. I was like, why is it fun to do something to someone else? Kristen used to be the hot mess express, and you could tell she's gotten a little older and is just happy to be back on TV. Kristen trying to play it cool. Janet, though, I feel like there's a lot in that statement to pay attention to. So basically, you only enjoy her when you're doing stuff to hurt other people. Like Janet, you ain't fooling nobody. You ain't fooling nobody, helper. Is there anything you wanted to add before we move on to the last scene?
No, that's pretty much it. I'm still learning everybody, so keep going.
It'll take you some time to learn them, but so far your assessments and opinions are pretty spot on. Luckily, there's only been one season, so you haven't missed much.
I'm like the whole first season. Yeah,
the whole season last season was essentially like the same drama, but it was shorter. So if you can watch it, watch it. But Michelle and Jesse then talk again. She tells Jesse that she met somebody who is good at getting kids into school. This is common in California, especially in the Bay Area or LA. Your kids just can't get into private schools. You got to make the money talk and have somebody to help them get in. And the child is currently going to school in Los Angeles and LA. Their house was in the Hollywood Hills, that little ass house. And Jesse is mad as hell because he was not involved at all in the discussion of Michelle consulting with this woman to help the daughter. And she thinks that Jesse basically brings up, like, what if I want our daughter to go to school in Orange County? Because he's now dating a woman who is native and lives in Orange County. Orange County from Los Angeles is a good hour away from each other. It's not as close as people would think. It's just not. I think the best example would be Disneyland. Disneyland is in Orange County. If you fly into LAX to go to Disneyland, I feel sorry for you. You're going to be driving a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be driving a long time. So it's far. It makes it difficult for co-parenting. Now, Michelle thinks that the reason Jesse wants to do this is so that his daughter can go to school in a city that's in Orange County so that it benefits him. And I agreed with her, but he admits to the confessional and the camera. He's like, yeah, I did that to get a rise out of her. And I'm like, why are you trying to get a rise out of your daughter's mom, especially while you're in court? And I don't like that you would use your daughter and play with her education and where she could go to school just because you want to get a rise out of her mom or please your new girlfriend. Like, that's not okay. Again, neither one of them should be discussing something so important at a party. This is not something you discuss at a party. This is something you make appointments with your attorneys for since they are at the end of their divorce, and you find out a way to mediate it. But I'm getting the energy also that Jesse probably has some form of joint custody, but I feel like Michelle is like the primary like legal person because there's physical custody and where the kid goes, and then there's the legal custody, which has to do with decisions as it relates to doctors, where they go to school. I get the feeling Michelle might have physical and legal, and Jesse is just sharing the physical because she did meet with the lady without talking to him, and that part was weird. However, this is for the benefit and the betterment of their child to get a good education. So it sucks that she didn't communicate. He could have been like, just communicate with me going forward. But instead, he intentionally responded in a way to get a rise out of her. And if she's smart, she'll have her attorney subpoena this because she told him, if you don't want to do it, then I'll go to court and I'll get full custody and then we'll see that. And she seemed very confident that she could get that. I don't want to see this all season from these two. If it's going to be like this, then one of them needs to leave the show. James, how did you feel?
The same way you did. I don't want to see this all season either, because the only person that suffers is y'all child. So at the end of the day, for y'all to be failures as parents in a household together, the least y'all can do in the household part is to be the best of friends, because clearly y'all have that in common with this whole friend group. Y'all need to learn how to be civil for your child's sake. And if y'all can work it out, but don't be trying to go, I feel like it's him. Don't try to go to Orange County because you know you want to make it difficult for her, because you really don't have to.
Preach. Preach, preach, preach. I agree.
That's how petty. He's being petty. And because she doesn't have, the best responses, and her emotions look like they're all over the place, he knows that that's a trigger for her.
Yeah.
So, and instead of her just playing it cool, because see, I'd have been like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. Have a good night. Because that's how
Right. Thank you, Court of Public Opinion. That's another thing. These people may look good because of makeup and plastic surgeons. However, these are all people over 40. All of them. So they should know better. They should definitely know better. And Jesse, why wouldn't you want to make a decision that keeps your daughter in what she's used to and keeps that stability for her? Is her life going to change every time you date? And I don't like that both of them are willing to have who they're dating around their child so soon. The ink ain't even dry on this divorce yet.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all doing? Wait and see if this person's going to last, and don't have little Isabella getting to know every Tom, Dick, Harry, and Jane that y'all decide you want to date.
For real.
Because I'm like, she shouldn't know either party's spouse. That's just my opinion. Go ahead.
No, she shouldn't. She shouldn't be knowing anybody. And it's so pathetic of them. And I'm just looking at them like, okay, so y'all some like trash ass parents.
They
Like
are.
just like I can't.
It shows from wanting to like, again, why are they even talking about that? Court of Public Opinion said, I stayed single for 20 years. I know a lot of people, especially women, that have done that and will just have something on the side that they can give when the baby away or something. But they're not going to have their kids around people until they know that they're like going to marry someone. Or if they don't trust people, they won't marry someone till their kids are out the house. So it's very strange that they're moving like this. DM Rock said, who is my favorite on the show? You know, I'm a little biased from Vanderpump Rules, but I actually really like Luke, Kristen's now baby daddy. I really like Luke. In terms of the women, I don't really have a favorite. I don't really care for any of these women. Kristen is too much for me. She's a little pick-me. I'm hoping she'll change when she gets pregnant. Michelle, I don't think we'll see the real her. I think there's something she's hiding. Brittany is a pick-me who's crying about some shit she knew she would get. I feel like Nia, I like Nia. I just don't like her on TV. Like, she's regular. Like, in real life, I feel like I could have dinner with her and she could be a girlfriend. But I don't like her for TV, if that makes sense. And Janet is the devil walking in pink. So I don't really like the people on this show. I just recap it because I was a huge VPR fan. And I don't think Vanderpump Rules will come back. I don't think it will ever be the same if it did come back. I don't care for the shows that Lisa has on Hulu. So I was like, hey, plus I need content. So, you know, we here. But I don't really care for any of the women. DM Rock says I like Jasmine and Zach. I don't mind Jasmine. I just need Jasmine to do a little more. She's kind of hiding in the background in her piece. But, you know, I can't stand Brittany at all either.
I don't know anybody on this cast, DM Rocks, to really give you a format of a favorite. I can't even tell you who I like yet. Because all of them rubbed me the wrong way in one form or another. So it's really hard for me to really pick a favorite. So we'll see. I'll pay attention to Jasmine and Zach a little bit more, especially for the LGBT representation. I will. I'm gonna watch Brittany as well. But I'm gonna tell you, I like this. I ain't gonna like the racists on the show.
Brittany. I mean, she's married to Jax, who made racial comments using the N-word. You wasn't using that word when you was deep up in faith, sir, but okay. And Brittany staying with him even after those racial comments and slurs were made. Ugh, they haven't acknowledged it.
So I expect that from her.
Yeah, her family. You could tell from Brittany that that's what she is.
Absolutely.
And I don't feel sorry for her. I don't. She knew what she was getting from Jax. She ran to LA to be with him because he said he paid for some new titties. He's never liked anything about her. It sounds like their relationship was nothing but sex. And then also the weight gain and all of the plastic surgery that Britt has done, she looks terrible. She needs to figure it out. She looked like she's sick. Stop putting them injections in the face. And she was on here last season talking about me and Jax have a plastic surgeon and he does things for free. Stop being that surgeon's guinea pig. I can't. Court of Public Opinion said the minute Jax cheated with Faith, Brittany was like, let's get married. Yup. I remember that. I love it. There's other people that watch the show other than me. I took a gamble recapping this show, so I'm glad to see that people are here. I'm going to keep recapping it. I'm going to see what it gives for the next few episodes. I said I'd give it a trial of 5. I'm entertained thus far. I just like to cover a show that's new here and there, something new and fresh. So now we have Never Ever Mets and The Valley. We'll see how it goes, but we'll be back. This will be replacing Beverly Hills time slot since Beverly Hills has gone away. I appreciate everybody, especially James, for being here. We're going to keep recapping this for 5 episodes, hopefully longer, so that the Black people who like this show got somebody like us that's covering it because it matters. Other than that, you guys, our next recap will be on James's channel on Sunday.
Yep,
Right.
on Sunday. Unless DM Rocks, where are you at in here? I knew I saw you. Unless you can get me that article about Meredith, because I will do an unpopular opinion about that. So unless you can get that to me within the next day or two, Sunday looks like the day will be back on my channel for Somebody's Son and Love and Marriage Detroit. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. And I'll see you guys soon.
Yes, we will see you guys next week. So I hope everybody enjoys their night. Adios. And thank you, James. Good night, y'all.